Hi, my name is Jason Husky, and I'm going to show you how to use recurring jobs in Husky Practice Manager. We're currently on the dashboard, and this is where you will see all of the jobs that are assigned to you. Currently, there's nothing set up, so let's go ahead and set up our first job template. Click Add Job Template. And the first thing I want to set up is a weekly payroll. You need to set up a naming convention also. And I'm going to say, we'll say payroll dash weekly dash Friday because it's going to occur every Friday. So you name it and then you add a recur rule. The first due date on a weekly basis, it just has to be sometime in the past. And I am doing this on December 6th, 2017. So I'll just choose December 1st. It repeats weekly, and it repeats every 1 week, and it repeats on a Friday. So that's all the rule that we need to set up there. Click Save Template, and you have it set up. Now let's add a bi-weekly payroll. And we'll say this happens every other Thursday. Let's add a recur rule. And again, we'll say our first due date is December 1st. We still choose weekly, but then we want to make it repeat every 2 weeks. And that makes it bi-weekly. And then it happens every other Thursday. Save that. Let's set up something that's quarterly. So let's do payroll reports that happen quarterly. And again, we'll say our first due date is December 1st. This is going to be monthly, but it repeats every 3 months. That's how you set up a quarterly job. And we want this to repeat on the last day of the month. So go down to the very bottom and choose that. If you would choose 31st or even 30th or 29th, there would be some months where that job does not show up. So just choose last day of the month if that's what you want. You can also choose a day of the week. If you have any jobs that happen, let's say the first Friday of a month, you can choose that. And you can choose multiple days. So let's say you were setting up a semi-monthly payroll that happens on the 1st of the month, and it also happens on the 15th of the month. And to have multiple selections, you have to hold down the control button while you click. So let's do 3, 4, and 5, and I was holding down the control button the whole time. If I release the control button and select something else, it's going to undo that. So let's go back down to the bottom and just choose last day of the month because we're setting up this quarterly payroll report. And we'll save that. And the final one I want to set up is a little more complicated. Here in Missouri, our sales tax is due for the first month of a quarter. It's due on the 20th of the month after. The second month, it's due the 20th of the month after. The third month, it's due on the last day of the month after. So let's set that up. And we'll just we'll name it sales tax dash monthly dash Missouri and add a recur rule. And just to make it a little easier in my mind, I'm going to go all the way back to January and set it up there. So in January, we need a monthly recurring rule that happens every 3 months. And the January due date is going to be the last day of the month because that would have been for December. Then we need to add another recur rule. And this will have a first due date of February. and it repeats monthly every 3 months. This one is going to be due on the 20th of February. Let's add the third recurring rule. This will be for March. Monthly, repeat every 3 months. And this one will also happen on the 20th. And so we've set up 3 recur rules inside this template, and that will get us our monthly schedule that has differing days in the month. So I'm going to save that. And now we've got our 4 templates set up here. If you needed to change anything, you can always edit a template by choosing that. You can edit the name or any of these rules that you set up, and then just save a template. Now we go back to the dashboard, and of course you won't see any jobs here because we haven't assigned these templates to any clients yet. So let's go do that. And let's say North Star Industries, we're going to do sales tax for them. Let's add a recurring job. We'll do sales tax, and we also do weekly payroll on Friday. So I'm going to use the Control plus click to select multiple jobs here. And then I'm going to assign the person that does those jobs, and I'll assign them both to me. You can leave this blank and assign it later, and I'll show you that in just a second here. So save the job. So now we've got both of these jobs assigned to North Star Industries, and they're both assigned to me. If I wanted Keith to start working on the payroll, I would just change the name to Keith. But I'm going to change it back to me so that you can see it happening on the dashboard. Let's go back to the dashboard, and now you see that the first event that's going to happen is a weekly payroll on December 8th. And let's say I get that done, and all you do is just click the X and it will disappear. It's going to default to showing you the next 31 days, but if you need to see more than that, just fill that in, hit enter, and it'll show you more. There is also a report available where you can view jobs for the whole office. That is the recurring jobs report. And let's view jobs for December of 2017. So we'll start on December 1st and go through December 31st. Mark all job templates if you'd like to view all, and mark all employees. Get the report. And now you can see these 6 jobs are set up in our office, and this top one here is the one that I just clicked on the dashboard. And so you see that the button has turned green. It's showing that it's been completed, and it was completed by me on December 6th. Now, if for some reason I had accidentally clicked that on the dashboard, you can just click it again, and now it's undone. You can see it again on your dashboard. So we'll click that back on, and I added another job here for Ross Company and assigned it to Keith Wheaton. And of course I won't be able to see that on my dashboard, only Keith will see that on his dashboard. But if Keith was gone for a week on vacation and this sales tax came due and I needed to complete it for him, I can just come into the recurring jobs report and click the X button, and now it shows that I completed that on December 6th. It's got a record of that for you. And one other thing I wanted to show you, back on the dashboard, if you have clients like I do, sometimes they don't bring in the information on time, and some things get a little bit past due. So let's say North Star Industries forgot to bring in their sales tax information, and for several months. So it would be showing several lines of sales tax information here. Let's say November 20th would be due up here, but that would show up in red to show that it's past due. And those past due items will not leave your dashboard until you click the X, so that you always have a record of them, and so that you won't miss anything. I think that's pretty much everything you need to know about recurring jobs in Husky Practice Manager. Thanks for taking a look.